Hello everyone, testing. Hello everyone, testing. Okay, seems like everything's working. Okay, I'm just going to check if everything's working fine. If you can hear me clearly. Chat box is working, audio is working, sound is working. Okay, good. Everything seems to be working fine. Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to today's webinar brought to you by IC Markets. How is everyone going? Yeah, so we usually start at 5:30, but I had to move it a bit earlier today to 4:30. Okay, it was... Hi, Andres. Hi. Okay, I had already changed the schedule way ahead. I hope most of you caught the schedule change. Don't worry, next week will still be 5:30. Okay, it's just this week. Okay, cool. I'm going to start the webinar today. Okay, once again, hi everyone. Welcome to today's webinar brought to you by IC Markets Global. We're going to do a live analysis session. Today's the 3rd of November, right? Basically, what a live analysis session means is that I will go onto the live charts. I will pull out trading view later on, and then I will show you how I usually do my live analysis. I will show you how I usually do my analysis, and this will be live, okay? Just so you guys know, I do follow my analysis that I do for you guys in my own trading as well. Okay, so yeah. Before we continue, I do need to do the disclaimer. Basically, the disclaimer is just a reminder to remind you guys that this webinar is purely educational. Nothing that I share in this webinar is any form of investment advice, financial advice, or any form of signal to buy or sell. Although today's session is a live analysis session, which means that I will be doing analysis, it does not mean that it is a signal for you to buy or sell. This is purely to show you how I usually do my analysis. It is not for you to copy blindly. Okay, so another risk warning that trading Forex and CFDs, especially if you are trading on high margins, carry significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. You may lose more than you intend to. Okay, so please be cautious when trading. Please do not jump into the ocean before you learn how to swim. It is important because you might get burned. There is a very high chance of you getting burned. I will stay here for a minute or two so you guys can read through the disclaimer. In the meantime, while you guys are reading through that, I'm just gonna go quickly grab some water. Okay, I will be back. Hello guys, I'm back. I went to grab some water. I hope you guys are done reading the disclaimer. Okay, you should be done because it's been about 2 minutes. Water is important for living. Yes, it is. Okay, I'm gonna continue. So I'm gonna introduce myself. For those who don't already know me, my name is Cassandra. You can call me Cass. It's a little less formal, a bit more casual. I am an investment analyst at Everest Fortune Group. So Everest Fortune Group is a research firm based in Singapore. We have been recognized as the finalist for the best forex and equity research for multiple years running. What we do here is a lot of back testing, a lot of research, a lot of forecasting of where we think the markets are going. And yeah, that's basically it. Okay, so we really recognize, we really understand the markets very well. We really understand the markets very well. Therefore, if you have any questions regarding the markets, do ask me and I'll try my best to answer you. Sorry, I accidentally answered a call. Okay. Other than that, I am a prop trader. So what that means is I do trade on funds that have been funded by multiple companies. How I got this funding is to pass certain tests. The test that I had to pass required me to do 10% profit within a month. Doing 10% profit within a month isn't that hard for me. I've done it many times already. Last month I ended with about 8%, I think. Yeah. Last month I ended about 8%. So it was kind of close to 10%. So it's kind of normal for me to do that. And this is exactly how I'm going. I'm going to show you later when I do my analysis exactly how I get this profit every month by using this exact same technique. I don't change anything. Whatever I show you guys is exactly what I follow myself. Okay, so yeah, you guys are in good hands. So our agenda for today is the key approaches, cheat sheet checklist, and live charts. So this is the cheat sheet checklist that I usually use for my own analysis, and it's been working really well. So far so good. So first things first is I want to look for trends. So either an uptrend or a downtrend, right? Whether it's going up or it's going down. Okay, so how do I do that? I use either trend line or channel. Channel, you would need minimum 4 touches, 2 on top and 2 at the bottom for it to be valid. Trend line, you need 3 significant touches for it to be valid and 3 significant swings for it to be valid. So once I am done deciphering the direction of where price is going, I will then use horizontal levels to mark up my entry, my stop loss, my take profits. Okay, so I'm basically looking for pullbacks, overlaps, swing highs and swing lows, okay, and fib levels. Fib levels to find my entry, stop loss, and take profit. Okay, once I'm done doing this, this is my main part of my analysis. Okay, this is the main part of my analysis. Once I'm done doing that, I will use other things to look for confirmation whether my analysis makes sense. So after I'm done doing these 3 steps, I will either know if I'm getting in for a buy or if I'm getting in for a sell, right? Because these 3 steps will already give me a rough idea what I'm going to do with the trade. So then I will look for chart patterns, death or golden crosses, any natural moving averages, stochastics, RSI, any kind of divergence, any kind of support and resistance to see if my analysis makes sense. Okay? These are what I use as supporting technical analysis tools, supporting analysis to see whether my initial analysis here makes sense or not. Okay, so I will show you guys that later. Later on, I will look for correlations if there are any. So for example, correlations is EUR/USD versus DXY. Okay, this is an example of correlation. Why? Because if you want to buy or sell EUR/USD, let's say you're buying EUR/USD, that means you want the US dollars to go down in price, right? Because one currency goes up in price, the other has to go down. So then I will also do my analysis on DXY because DXY is the dollar index, the US dollar index. Okay, that means that this is If I want EUR to go up in price, I basically need DXY to go down in price. Okay, that's just one example. Other examples are like Canadian dollars and oil. Usually Canadian dollars and oil will move in the same direction. If Canadian dollars is going up, oil prices will go up as well. Why? Because Canada is a very big producer of oil. Okay, on top of that, another example that you can use is currency to currency. So if you are doing your analysis on AUD USD, for example, you might also want to do it on NZD USD. Why? Because they're very correlated. They usually move in the exact same direction. Okay, so once those are done, I will then look for reversals or breakouts, and then I would have found my analysis for the day. It is that simple. Usually on a normal day, I could probably do my entire analysis in 5 to 10 minutes for one single pair. So EUR USD, I can do it in 5 to 10 minutes. XAU USD, I can do it in 5 to 10 minutes. But because for the purpose of today's webinar, and for the purpose of helping you guys understand what exactly I am doing, I will go a bit slower and I will explain as I go. Okay, so that's that. Thank you for sitting through my introduction. I am going to pull out TradingView now. Give me a moment. Okay, there you go. So we're gonna start like the normal, like how we do every week. What I'm gonna do right now is basically go through what we covered last week. So last week, if I'm not mistaken, we did do XAU USD, right? We did do XAU USD. I remember so clearly we did. EUR USD. What else? ETH USD. Wow, this is beautiful. This was on the dot, guys. This was on the dot. Do you guys see this? Okay, we will review this in a while. This was also on the dot. I know for a fact this was on the dot because I entered for a sell for this trade and it hit my take profit. I did about 3% for this trade. About 2.5 actually, yeah. So last week I ended the month with 8%, and this was one of my contributing trades. Okay, this was my contributing trades. I am currently in a gold trade right now. I'm probably gonna get out soon. Actually, just give me a moment. I just need to review what I got in last week so that we can cover it together. Okay, let's do this. Okay, last week I gave you guys, I did 2 analysis for you guys. Well, 3 technically. Gold, we did gold, but I don't remember covering it so thoroughly. So you guys know I always start with 4 charts. I will always do 1 commodity, which is XAU USD, 1 cryptocurrency, which is ETH USD, and 1 EUR USD trade. Okay, you guys know 1 forex, 1 cryptocurrency, 1 commodity, and I will always do 1 non-USD pair. So the non-USD pair, maybe we can do EUR JPY today. Usually I do GBP JPY, but I think I want to change it a bit to EUR JPY. Okay, so let's just review what we did last week. Last week I said that there was going to be hi Nankamia. Hi. Last week I said that I called for a sell for EUR USD. I personally got into the sell and I personally made profit from this exact trade. So I tell you guys this every week. Whatever I share with you guys on the webinars is exactly what I myself will take in my own trades. Okay, it's not like I come on here, I share stuff with you guys, and then I don't take it myself. Okay, I personally took this trade as well, and this was what I showed you guys last Monday. Last Monday, I said that my idea was that price is going to reverse exactly here. So reaction is going to be somewhere here. Reaction here, either break or a reversal. I had a 75% chance that it was going to be a reversal, means that it's going to reverse downwards, and then 25% chance that it's going to break and go higher. So true enough, it did reverse. I personally got into the trade, and I personally made about, actually I made about 3% actually. Yeah, I got in at about 3%. I made about 3% on this trade. So we are going to review this trade. Why did I call for this sell last week? Okay, so first things first, reason to sell. There was a death crowd. The 50 moving average was moving below the 200. So EMA 50, and this was 200. I'm going to change it to a different red, okay? So the blue is moving below the red, which means that the 50 EMA is moving below the 200, which is a signal of bearishness, okay? So that's the first thing why I got in for a sell. Second thing, because it is moving within a descending trend line. So you guys can see how it's moving within a descending trend line. So by right, it's supposed to respect this trend line, and it respected it beautifully. And that's exactly why I called for a sell here. Okay, third thing is resistance plus fib level. So there was a resistance here. Price came here 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Yeah, and then this was the 5th time where it finally reversed. So this area, this box was the perfect level where price was expected to reverse, and true enough, it worked out. So this is a good trade. It worked out. I got in, I made my profit. Yeah, so this is another trade, another analysis that I did last week. So I had a bias that this was going to be a buy or sell area. This white box is going to be the buy or sell area. I'm just not sure if it's going to be a buy or sell, but I did give a bias that it was going to be 60% a buy and 40% a sell. Okay, in this case, it became the 40% a sell. I did not get into this trade because I think the odds were a bit low. Okay, the odds were a bit low. So if you guys go back to this one, you guys can see that I wrote here 75% down and 25% up. So I was very confident. I was fairly confident that price was going to go down. Therefore, I put a sell order to get in for a sell. But in this case, I feel like price is going to react here in this white box, but I'm just not very sure if it's going to go up or down. I will just had a very small bias that it's going to go up and a very small bias that it's going to go down. Okay. In this case, it went down. It reacted exactly at the buy and sell area, and then it reversed here. This is why it is so important. If we go back to this cheat sheet checklist, it is so important to do this first 3 steps. Okay, these first 3 steps will help you win half the battle in trading. What does these 3 steps do? It helps you identify where exactly the action is going to happen. So from here, I knew I can always narrow down where the action is going to happen. Either a buy or sell is going to happen in this box. I just don't know if it's a buy or sell. Okay, so by using horizontal levels, pullbacks, overlaps, significant swing highs and swing lows on top of fib levels, on top of trend lines, on top of channels, I can narrow down where price is going to react exactly. But the next thing to master is whether it's going to react with a sell or whether it's going to react with a buy. Okay, that is so important. So in this case, I would say this was a successful trade, but I personally did not get in. Of course, I did put a requirement. Price needs to break the white box to confirm the bullishness. I said that price needs to break this white box here It needs to break upwards for it to confirm the bullishness to enter for a buy. In this case, it did not break. That's why it was a sell. So I would say this was also a successful trade. I personally did not get into this, but if anyone got into this, right? If I did get into this, this would have easily made me 4%. Wow, this was a good trade actually. But I didn't get in. I didn't get in, and that's okay. We don't have to force trades. If it didn't work out, it didn't work out. Okay, we can just reanalyze again. So this would have been a 4% trade. It would have been a beautiful trade. Okay, I still think gold is on a downtrend, but we're gonna reanalyze it. I didn't do a proper analysis on gold last week, but I personally think that gold is on a downtrend. Okay, I personally think that gold is on a downtrend. We will do this in a while. EURJPY is something that I've never done my analysis on. We can try this week to do EURJPY. I usually do GBPJPY. I don't really see very favorable results. Okay, so let's try EURJPY. If we do it this week and next week it hits the take profit, it means that this is something that we can continue looking at. Okay, so again, 3 analysis last week, 2 hit take profit, and 1 I didn't really do an analysis on this, so this is not really counted. So I would say 2 out of 2 analysis hit take profit last week. Okay, so let's clear everything and let's redo the analysis for this week. Okay, let's redo. Every week I come onto these charts, I erase everything. I erase everything. Whether I lost money, whether I made money, whatever it is, I erase everything and I redo the analysis. I'm not going to erase XAUUSD. I'll explain to you guys later on why I won't erase it, because this is something I can reuse. This, whatever I drew here, is something that I can reuse. Okay, so EURJPY. Okay, cool. Let's start with EURUSD first. First of all, let's look at what's happening. Let's go on the weekly. We might want to pull out DXY as well to see where DXY is going. DXY is the US dollar currency index. It tracks the US dollar. Okay, US dollar is looking very bullish, right? You guys can see it's clearly moving in an uptrend. Sorry, in a very nice uptrend. Okay, so let's see on the weekly. This is why you need to check multiple time frames, guys, because on the 4 hours it looks like it's moving on an uptrend, right? But when you go to the weekly, it has done a breakout. It has done a breakout here. So you guys can see it broke out here. It's now at a retest, and if it rejects this area, it's probably gonna go down. Okay, so let's just do our analysis on the okay, someone has been changing all my settings. Okay, this is why you need to check the bigger time frames, because the bigger time frame will tell you a different story. If you guys look at EURUSD on the weekly, you guys can see that price is already at a resistance. Okay, there's a possibility of continuation of a downtrend. Okay, but I don't know. We need to go down to the smaller time frames to see what is happening. So right now on the weekly, I am biased that price is going to continue going down because it is moving on a very nice downtrend. What constitutes a downtrend? Lower highs and lower lows. That's it. That's what constitutes a downtrend. Okay, so right now, EURUSD on the weekly is moving in a very nice downtrend. On the daily, I would say it was moving on a very nice uptrend, right? You guys can see that it was moving on a very nice uptrend until here. That it looks like there's a trend line breakout. Yes, there is a trend line breakout. Okay, right. Okay, so okay, depending on how you guys draw it, it can come out totally different than what you expect. I would say this, it's a trend line breakout. Okay, I would say even if it's not a trend line breakout, on the minimal, it looks like it's a channel breakout, right? Yeah, it is a channel breakout. Very nice, clean channel. So you can see price moving within this channel. Then it just broke the channel. Okay, so there is bearishness here. Everything is lining up perfectly because DXY on the smaller time frame is kind of going. Okay, no, we'll KIV DXY. But anyways, I'm a bit more biased for a sell for EUR/USD at this current point of time. If you kind of just zoom in this area here, you can kind of see it starting like a small little downtrend here. Okay, let's go down to the 4 hours and see what's happening. Okay, 4 hours is clearly making a downtrend channel, right? I mean, depending on how you draw it, again, it's always depending on how you draw it. Okay, so I do think that we are still on a downtrend for EUR/USD. So let me just highlight some levels on where I think the entry is going to be. I feel like we just missed the entry, honestly. Okay, this is where I'm highlighting the entry to be. Okay, why? Because one, price came here 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, and then it finally broke here on the 7th time. It finally broke. It took 7 times to break. And now that it's breaking, I feel like it's going to come back, retest this area, and then continue with that downtrend. Okay, so I do believe that price is going to come back and retest. So some of you must be wondering, why don't I just get in for a sell now? You can. Hi, Jamilu. Hi. You can get in for the sell now if you want to, but it's not at a very good entry. Because what if price comes back and retests higher and then you didn't get in a very good entry? Okay, so for those who just joined, just a reminder, what we did was the introduction, a recap of last week. Last week we did 2 analyses and both analyses hit take profit. This week we're gonna redo the analysis for those charts. Okay, so I think EUR/USD is a sell right now. I personally think it's a sell. I just don't think I will be able to narrow down the entry. You guys know, you guys have been following me for a long time. You guys know that my style of trading is to look for reversals. I don't look for breakouts. I am not a breakout trader. Okay, so in this case, you guys can see that EUR/USD is doing a breakout, right? You can see it did a breakout here. Okay, after this breakout, it's gonna come back and retest somewhere. I don't know if I'm able to spot that retest, but I mean, I'll try my best. Okay, I'll try my best to spot that retest. Why am I not able to spot that retest? Because it's a bit hard. Because for me to test a retest, I need to take the swing high and pull it to the swing low, right? But the problem is I don't know where the swing low is, right? I don't know where the swing low is. I don't know if price is going to continue to go down, or I don't know if it's going to reverse now. So the swing low has not formed yet. I need the swing low to form so that I can do an accurate analysis. But to give just a very vague analysis on, hi Buddha Lama. For those who just joined, sorry I had to start the webinar a bit earlier this week. Next week onwards, it'll just go back to 5:30. Okay, so the entry is going to be somewhere within this. Okay, entry, sorry. Okay, the entry for the sell is somewhere within this box. I just cannot narrow it down at this current point of time because I need the swing low to form so that I can use Fibonacci to pull from the swing high to the swing low. Okay, I need price to do this. I need to take the swing low, but the swing low has not formed. So once the swing low has formed, what you guys can, I mean, not you guys, sorry, this is not a signals group. what I'm gonna do is, if I so happen to have time to come back onto the charts, I will take this swing high here and then the swing low that has formed to pull out the Fibonacci levels, and then that level is gonna help me narrow down where exactly within this box is going to be the entry. I know the entry for the sell is somewhere within this box. I just don't know where exactly it's gonna be in this box. Okay, so last week it was a successful sell. The entry for the sell last week was here. The take profit was here. Okay, so entry was here, take profit was here. It was a beautiful, beautiful sell. I got into that sell. I made about 3% on that trade. Right now it already did a breakout, so I think it's going to be a continuation of the sell to where the next swing low. We are constantly selling and buying to the next swing high and the next swing low. Why? Because the next swing high and the next swing low are always going to be the next area where price wants to go. Price is attracted to swing highs and swing lows. Okay, price, it's like a magnet. Okay, this is like a pit stop. Okay, price tends to go back to that pit stop to see what's going to happen there. Okay, so I think the next area where EUR/USD is going to go is here. It's just that the entry is somewhere within this box, which I cannot give you right now because I don't have the fib levels. Stop loss will be just above the box. Okay, so now that I've got my idea, right, now that I know exactly what I'm going to do with EUR/USD, right? So I've already done this. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Choked. Okay, let me erase the thing. So I've already done this, and this. Now I'm going to use chart patterns, golden cross, death cross, natural moving average, stochastics, RSI, any form of correlations to see if it's supporting my analysis. Okay, so let's start with death cross and the golden cross. So what I'm going to do is pull out moving average. In my case, I like to use the exponential moving average because I think it gives the least lagging information. I'm going to change the setting to 50 and 200. I'm going to change the color so that I know which one is the 50, which one is the 200. So the 200 is the red and the 50 is the blue. Okay, if the blue, the 50 is below the red, it means that on a short term, price is on a downtrend. Okay, which is true. So the blue is below the red. So EMA is agreeing to my analysis that it is a sell. Okay, so far so good. EMA is agreeing. Okay, Ichimoku also agreeing. If price is moving under the cloud, it means that it's a sell. So Ichimoku is also agreeing. Okay, let me see. Stochastics, RSI. I'm basically pulling out things to tell me whether my analysis is correct or wrong. If I pull out all these things and it's telling me that my analysis is wrong, I will immediately not enter that trade. Okay, so I'm going to change this setting to 21, 5, and 3. I don't use the default setting for stochastics because I don't find that it's very smooth. What am I looking? I'm looking for support and resistance. Okay, I'm looking for support and resistance. It looks like there's going to be a upwards reaction soon. Okay, it looks like it's going to be an upwards reaction soon. Okay, so can you guys give me a minute? I'll be back. Okay, so sorry guys, I heard something fell, so it was a loud drop. I was afraid that there was an emergency, but it's okay. It was nothing. Okay, anyways, we can see on stochastic that price has reached a support. It means that price is bound to like do a reaction soon. We know that it is on a downtrend because every time price gets here, right? Price gets to the bottom, you see price reacting here, but it's a very small reaction, right? If you guys like just retrace back, it's just like a very small reaction. It's a small reaction every single time. So I know, because by looking at this, I know for a fact that the upwards pressure is very low. Okay, there's not much bullishness happening in the market right now. Okay, so let me just see if there is any. I mean, there's. It looks like it's a hidden divergence, to be honest. Right? Do you guys see that? It could be nothing, but it could be a hidden divergence. Okay, so I don't remember. That's why every week I still reference. Okay, on the charts, price is going down, and on the oscillator, it's going up. Do you guys see that? Do you see the hidden divergence? This is why I always check stochastics and RSI. Okay, so on the charts, we can see price clearly moving in a downtrend, right? But on stochastics, I mean RSI, you can see price moving in a very slight uptrend, right? A very, very slight uptrend. This is a sign. Okay, wait, it has to be in the same direction. Okay, I can still move it down and it will still be the same, right? See? If I move it this way, okay, price is obviously still moving in a downtrend. Okay, this is a question mark. Okay, this is a question mark. This is a possible, there's a possible bullish divergence, but we shouldn't just take note that this lowers the chances a little bit. Okay, so let me just look at that again one more time. Price is going down, and on the oscillator it is going up. Is this a divergence? Is this a divergence possible? Possible. Okay, possible bullish divergence. Okay, so this immediately makes me wonder. Okay, it makes me wonder if there is going to be a bullish divergence. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. Um, okay, so to come up with an analysis, I still think price is going down, right? It's just that you need to take note that there is a bullish divergence. So immediately I would say if I was 80% sure that price is going down just now I'm only 70% sure. Okay, because of that kind of bullish divergence that we all saw together. Okay, so I think there's a 70 chance that price is going to be a sell. So I think it's 70% chance that it's a sell from this blue box. Sell to the next swing low, and the stop loss will just be above this blue box. Okay, so risk to reward is, let's say, getting somewhere in the middle. 3 to 4. Okay, it's a very good odds. This is very good odds. I just wanted to pull back before I consider getting it for a sell, but I personally think this is a not bad of a trade to consider. Okay, I think this is not bad of a trade to consider. Yeah. Possibility of it hitting the stop loss is also there because it might try to come back and test this trend line, right? It might try to come back and test this trend line and, you know, kind of touching the stop loss a bit. So also a bit risky. Like I said, that's why I don't play breakouts. I really don't like breakouts for that reason. But anyways, okay, you know what? I have narrowed down exactly where I'm going to put my entry. Sorry, this is not the entry. This will be my entry here. Okay, this is going to be my entry. Yeah, this is going to be my entry. Why is this my entry? I know if price were to reverse, I think it's going to reverse somewhere within this box, but more likely in this line here. Why? Because price came here one time, two times, exactly on this line. Do you guys see that? Exactly on this line, 3 times, 4 times, and I think it might come back and retest this area and then finally go back again. Okay, and then it will line up beautifully with the descending trend line as well. Okay, so I'm actually now happy with this analysis. I am now actually quite happy with this analysis. Obviously, the stop loss can tweak the stop loss a bit, maybe put it slightly higher. Yeah, I think that's a comfortable enough breathing space, but not enough to like stop us out kind of thing. So I think this, yeah, 4 to 5, 4 to 4.8. This is a very good risk to reward trade. Yeah, I'm happy with this. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is ETH USD. So now that you guys kind of understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing certain things, I'm just gonna go a bit faster. Okay, so ETH USD has recently reached the swing high. That's therefore it tested the swing high, couldn't break it. Now it's coming back, and I think it's gonna retest it again soon. I don't know when it's gonna retest, but it usually wants to retest. Okay, so right now I need price to break this area. I think ETH USD has the potential to go a bit lower. Lower to where? Lower to here. Obviously, don't put your take profit exactly on the dot, put it a bit higher. But I need it to break this. Okay, you see that doji forming? It looks like it doesn't have the strength to break it. Okay, so if it breaks, this is gonna be one of those where it is the buy or sell. Okay, why am I doing a buy or sell here? Because if it breaks, it's a sell. If it fails to break, it's a up. Because right now, directionally wise, it's not very strong. You can see price kind of going sideways, right? You guys can see how price is kind of going sideways. It's been going sideways since 10th of October for almost a month now. So I think that therefore I cannot really give you a direction because price itself cannot give its direction. So right now it looks like it's having a hard time breaking. It looks like that doji is forming, which is a form of rejection, uncertainty, and then maybe a rejection candle. Okay, so this is gonna be another one where it's a buy or sell. Okay, if it's a buy, I'm just gonna buy it back to the swing high. Okay, if it's a sell, then I'm gonna sell it back to this area here. Okay, so if it's a buy, okay, if it's a sell, sorry. If it's a buy, sorry. If it's a buy, my take profit will be just below here. And if it's a sell, my take profit is going to be here. I mean my stop loss, sorry. Okay, so this 1 to 2, I wouldn't take this trade if it's a buy, unless you're aiming for the next buy, which is being very, very ambitious. Or maybe this swing high here. But if it's just here, I personally wouldn't take this trade because the trade needs to make sense. The risk to reward needs to make sense. Unless you can get in at a very, very good price, I totally would just miss this buy. Okay, let's see if it's a sell. If it's a sell, it's also about 2.2 to 2.5, depending on where you get in. So, but the problem with the selling is that you need to wait for the breakout to happen first. Okay, let's see what the indicators are saying so that we kind of have a bias of whether it's going to be a buy or a sell. You guys already know what I'm doing, so I'm not going to explain too much. Okay. Ichimoku and EMA is suggesting that there's more of a bearish pressure at this current point of time. Okay, which I can kind of understand. Okay, so we should be anticipating a sell rather than a buy. RSI, I'm just trying to see if there's any divergence. Nope. Nope, that wouldn't even make sense. Okay, I don't see any like divergences. If you guys see any, let me know in the chat box. Don't worry. Don't have to be shy. We're here to learn together, right? So maybe you see something that I don't, especially when it comes to divergences, because I'm not very good at spotting them. That's why I'm always referencing. I don't see any divergences. If you guys see any, let me know. Okay, I don't see any divergences for sure. Price is moving very smoothly with price. RSI and stochastics is moving very smoothly. Thank you, Jamilu. Okay, nope. No divergences. Nothing here. There was this earlier on, right? There was this earlier on, but it didn't materialize, so that's not really counted. Okay. No divergences, nothing. I think, okay, at this current point of time, I don't know whether ETH USD is going up or down. Why? Because it's just going sideways, right? It's been going sideways for a while. It actually made a double top. Okay, but double top is only valid when it happens on the end of an uptrend, not the end of a downtrend. Okay, so it's been going sideways for a while, and like even the markets doesn't know if it wants to go lower. It's having a very hard time breaking this blue box here. So I came here 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and 5 times. Okay, this is the 5th time. It's having a very hard time breaking this blue box. If it breaks this blue box, I think we are good to enter for a sell. The question right now is whether it will be able to break this blue box right now. Because it came here once, twice, 3rd time, 4th time, And now we're at the 5th time. 4 times it couldn't break the blue box. Will it be able to break the blue box this 5th time? I'm not sure. I don't know. But we will need to wait and see. Okay, so what I'm going to do is wait for the breakout, a retest. Okay, if it breaks out, then I have a totally different entry. Okay, if it breaks out, I actually don't think the sell is going to be here. I think the sell is going to be slightly higher here. Okay, but anyway, I think this is the sell area. I don't know if it's going to break out. I think this is a 50-50 thing. You know, if I'm feeling adventurous, I would just enter here for a buy because price came here 1, 2, 3, 4 times, right? Oops, sorry. Price came here 4 times and it failed to break 4 times. Is it gonna break right now on the 5th time? I don't know. So just to take a wild bet, this has nothing to do with risk management or risk analysis. Okay, this is just like putting your odds out there. I can consider getting in for a buy here and then just playing it here, because I mean, if you think about it, it came here 1, 2, 3, 4 times and it had a hard time breaking. If it breaks right now on the 5th time, then I'll just consider myself unlucky. Okay, so I might consider getting in here for a buy in the hopes that this 5th time price reverses again. But you just need to know that when it comes to this kind of trade, there is a 50-50 chance that it's going to break. Okay, there's still going to be a chance that it's going to end up becoming a breakout rather than a reversal. Okay, let's see what we have, what news we have on ETH. Okay, let's any recent news on ETH. Let's just do a quick Google search. Any reason for us to think that ETH is going to go down? I don't see anything significant, honestly. I honestly think, yeah, this is gonna be a 50-50. I think I know what I'm gonna do. I'm going to risk 0.5 entering for a buy, right? If I get stopped out, then it means that this is going to be a breakout and I will consider looking for a sell entry. Okay, if price breaks out here, which I think it's going to break out, honestly, because if you guys look at the charts, you can see that price is having a hard time, is having a very hard time going higher. Okay, there's so the bullish strength is not there. So if you guys see here, it did this, came down, it came back and did this high, and it came back down to this exact spot, having a hard time breaking this spot, and came back up again. It couldn't make a higher high, right? It couldn't make a higher high, and then came back down again, and this time it went up and it just made a very weak reaction, and now it's back down here again, meaning that the buyers are really not here. Okay, the buyers are not here, and there could be a possibility of a reversal, I mean a breakout. So you know what, for this one it's really a 50-50. I cannot give you a definite. I wouldn't want to enter here, but yeah, it's a 50-50. Okay, anyways, back to gold. Okay, so gold, hold on. I think what gold is doing right now is an ABC. I'm not going to explain too much, because if I explain too much, then we wouldn't be able to do the analysis. Sorry, I'm trying to find the... Where is it? Oh my gosh. Okay, there you go. It's doing an A, B, C. I don't explain too much because I don't want to waste too much time on the analysis. ABC kind of fell short. By right, the ABC should be pulling at least here. Okay, C should end here at least. Okay, so C should end here at least before doing this pullback. So okay guys, give me a moment. Wave 2 involves deep current contributed with 2. 78.6 is considered a common level deep correction of ABC. $78.6 a common standard level used for a very common wave B retraces of wave B within zigzag. Okay. Technically, gold could be done already because it has already done the 78.6. Okay, it missed the 78.6 by a little bit, or the 61.8. Okay, so technically gold could have been done with the retracement and now it's into B. Hi Lily. Okay, so I think gold is doing a A. Now it's going into B. I don't know where B is gonna end. And then a C. Okay, so based on what it says, typically retraces 50%. Typically retraces 38.2, 50%, and 61.8% of A. Okay, right? We are all reading this together. Wave B typically retraces 38.2, 50%, and 61.8. Okay, so if that is the case, I'm going to take the swing high here. I'm going to pull it down here, change the color. I don't know who changed this. I'm going to change this color to something that's visible, okay? And then we're only going to pull out the three levels that it states. 38.2, 50%, and 61.8. Okay, so let's go back to that. Get rid of everything. 38.2, 50%, and 61.8. Okay, so based on what I have read just now, wave B is expected to retrace somewhere around here, right? Okay, so gold is expected to do this. Somewhere within this blue box, and then a continuation down. Okay, for those who are confused at what I'm doing, I'm basically using Elliott wave to trade gold. So Elliott wave is totally different from this. Okay, this is a totally different strategy and a totally different technique of doing technical analysis. Elliott wave is a totally different technique of doing technical analysis as well. Okay, so gold, I think, in my opinion, is expected to pull back to somewhere around here before continuing down again. Okay, so that's all I have for gold. I'm not going to go into much detail because I don't like it that it didn't touch the usual target. So the usual targets for ABC is Okay, C. So common levels for ABC Elliott wave is wave B typically retraces the diagonal wave A, and wave C often equals the length of wave A, or reaching 1.0 times the length of wave A. Okay, so if based on those rules, I don't like it that wave C did not meet the common levels. Okay, because based on the common levels, wave C is by right supposed to, although I know it's just guidelines, supposed to reach this green color here. Okay, it's supposed to reach this green color here. So there is a chance that it's done retracing, or there's a chance that it's just doing a little pullback and then later on gonna continue into this green color. Okay, so that's all I have for gold. I'm not gonna talk too much on gold until I have a proper analysis. I cannot give you guys analysis for gold because Elliott wave requires a bit of time to do analysis. I definitely would not be able to do the analysis in 5 minutes for Elliott wave. Okay, let's do a quick one for this and I'm done. Okay, I cannot do this one as well because it's just making swing highs, right? It's just making, it's at the all-time high. Yeah, price is at an all-time high. Oh, in this point. I guess the next level you guys can aim for is this. Next level to look out for is this swing high here. But other than that, I don't want to spend too much time on this. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys this week. I'll see you guys next week. It will be 5:30. I'm sorry I had to reschedule and start today a bit earlier because I have something on today. Okay, so just a recap of what we did. EUR USD, I'm fairly confident that it's going to be a sell. Okay, ETH USD, we need to see if price can break out. We need to see if price can break out. If it breaks out, then it's a sell. If it cannot, then it's going to be a buy. Okay, XAUUSD, I need to spend a bit more time on this, and this, I don't have enough time for this. But anyways, I will see you guys next week. Again, last week we did EUR USD. I called for a sell for EUR USD here. This was a sell here. Take profit was here. This one hit take profit beautifully. It was a 2.5% trade. I actually ended the month last month with 8% profit. ETH USD, it was I called for a sell as well, right? I called for a sell here all the way to here, and it also hit the take profit beautifully, but I personally did not get into this trade. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys. So far we've got it's like 3 weeks of winning streak. 3 weeks of winning streak. Hopefully this will be our 4th week. Hopefully this will be the 4th week. The only trade I'll consider entering is EUR USD. ETH USD is kind of like it's a 50-50. I don't know if I want to enter it, but I don't know if I want to enter it. Gold, I'm gonna have to spend a bit more time on it again. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys. I will see you guys next week. Next week should be 5:30 p.m. Singapore time. This week I started 1 hour earlier on because I have something on today. So take care guys. Bye.